Hi guys, it's Phoebe from Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. This isn't a review video, it's a retrospective on Doctor Who, Classic Doctor Who Series 2. Before I start this video, please click that big red subscribe button down below and click the notifications bell every single time I upload. Also please, a happy Thanksgiving to the Gallifrey Multiverse guys. Hope you have a fantastic few days. I know what it's about. I asked you guys what it's about. Hopefully to talk to you Friday or possibly tomorrow if you guys are not busy and you guys do see my videos, so yeah. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get on with the video. So, Series 2 of Doctor Who was the second series of the new BBC Sci-Fi show. After 58 years, does this series... Oh yeah, yesterday was Doctor Who Day, so happy birthday, Doctor Who. As I see it, a birthday lasts all week. So yeah. So, after 58 years, does this series live up, aged well? Well, Series 2 has been a bit of a mixed series, with some really good episodes and also some really not very good episodes. So let's run through the episodes one by one. So, Planet of the Giants. I thought that was a really good episode, very well put and everything like that. Very well significant, and I think it was the perfect episode to open up the new series of Doctor Who with William Hartnell, Susan, Barbara and Ian. I thought that was a very inventive episode. I loved the way they did it and it was just absolutely fantastic series opener for the classic series. The Dalek invasion of Earth is next, obviously the second appearance of the Daleks. I liked this. I think it was really cool. And then 58 years later, you'd have the Stolen Earth and Journey's End 2 parts with the 10th Doctor. So I feel like the Dalek invasion of Earth was the perfect Dalek story to kick off the 2005 revival, because at some point they would do like a second story to that. So I definitely think that the Dalek invasion of Earth is a good companion leaving story as well, because this is where Susan leaves, and I definitely think that the Dalek invasion of Earth, over years to come, it will continue to age well alongside Planet of the Giants. I think Planet of the Giants and the Dalek invasion of Earth will both continue to age well, and has already aged well in the last 58 years of Who lore and Doctor Who episodes. Now, The Rescue. This was an episode I rated fairly low because it wasn't really that great. Like, it wasn't particularly that great. I thought it was a bit like, you know, a bit like you had the Dalek invasion of Earth, a good episode, and then you obviously have the Romans, and then you obviously have The Rescue, a mediocre story. There wasn't really a villain in it, which was the problem for me in this story. I mean, if you like it, well, congratulations. I definitely think that in this series you had a few good stories and a few good episodes to go along with them. So The Rescue is definitely one that I will not be rewatching again, as it was my first time watching that. It was definitely let down by the lack of monsters and therefore the lack of enemies, and it was a bit more talky, and I'm not a massive fan of talky kind of videos, like talky kind of serialized stories. I prefer like action right in the middle of them. It's just personally me, because I prefer Doctor Who being a bit more actiony than I do with dialogue, but the dialogue was on point. I think that's the only good thing I can say about it. The next story you had, I need to say story not episode, was the Romans, and I think the Romans in years to come will definitely age well. It has aged well already in 58 years of Doctor Who lore. So yeah, I definitely think the Romans was quite a good episode, because it was Vicky's first like proper trip in the TARDIS. it was let down with the whole slavery being a bad thing, which I totally understand. They were trying to teach kids back then about slavery, but it was definitely let down a lot. Definitely let down an awful lot, I think, and I just personally think that this story alongside the Rescue Wars was definitely let down. The Web Planet, that was an interesting next story to go with Series 2. Again, this is one of the slightly stronger stories of Series 2, which I seem to like. I think I rated this fairly low because of the Sabi and the set and the dodgy costumes and all that. If you go back and look at some of my old Series 2 reviews, I definitely think that that serial had a lot of potential for it. And just personally, I just thought that the story was a bit on the nose. It felt like they were giving you too much information. Apart from that, the creatures were good. It was all very, very insightful, I think. And I just think personally that it could have been a story that should have had a bit more time and attention to explore. But I definitely think that it was definitely worth it, and I think it was definitely a good episode after the Romans to contend with. It was definitely a good story to contend with, and I definitely think. Now, I would review the Crusade, but the Crusade is missing from Series 2, so I'll skip to the Space Museum. I have mixed feelings about this story. I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm sorry if you like it. I personally don't. I thought the B plot of the episode wasn't that great. I did like the idea of seeing an empty Dalek case inside the museum. I thought that was intriguing. I don't know, I just generally thought that the story itself lacked in character development for Vicky, Barbara and Ian, and even the Doctor. I thought the Doctor being captured was pretty obvious because the Doctor always gets captured in Doctor Who. It's kind of the pattern. So yeah, I just thought the story was a bit predictable in so many ways. I just thought that the Space Museum was one of those episodes one of those weaker stories in Series 2 to compensate for quite a lot of the good stories. Again, I rated this quite a low one as well because it was one of the lowest ones I had to do. Next up we have The Chase. I thought The Chase was a fantastic last story for Barbara and Ian. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. There was a lot of action. The Daleks had a time machine. I thought that was quite a good element of the story. I also think that it's great as well that they included the Daleks like this and they made the Daleks have time travel, even though if the Daleks got hold of the TARDIS it wouldn't be good. So I do like that idea. I liked the chase across time and space. I thought that was a very good element to add into the story. I don't know, I just generally thought that The Chase was a good episode after the Space Museum, and I did like the Space Museum's ending with the Daleks because that sets up The Chase obviously next. But yeah, I definitely did like The Chase. I definitely think it was a nice story to have, and it was definitely a strong contender, and I rated this episode, I rated this story quite high because I thought it was quite good. I loved the initiative of it again. And I just think that this story will definitely, at some point, has aged well and will continue to age well down the line when new Doctor Who fans discover Classic Who for the first time. I definitely think they'll watch these stories and feel like, and they'll watch The Chase and be like, that has definitely aged well after 58 years of Doctor Who episodes and Who lore and years. I definitely think The Chase has aged well. Now on to the Series 2 final, if you want, the Time Meddler. Now, as you guys know, I reviewed this literally last week. I wasn't a massive fan of the Time Meddler because I thought the Time Meddler was just a bit predictable. Like, not predictable per se, but I just thought the entire plot was a bit rubbish. I mean, with monks and stuff as well, it was a bit here and there. It was a bit negative. There was a lot of monks. The monks didn't make the tiniest bit of sense in Time Meddler. I didn't understand it. I didn't think it was an engaging story. The fact that the monks had time travel, that was a bit odd as well. I think that they just the writers just put that in there because they didn't know how to finish the story off. So I just generally think the Time Meddler wasn't good, and I don't think in years to come the Time Meddler is going to continue to age well, because I think a lot of people will look at that story and be like, this isn't such a great story because monks and time travel doesn't really work. So thank goodness in 2005 when Doctor Who revived it, it kind of took out a lot of the stuff in the classic series that didn't work. So yeah, apart from introducing monks in Matt Smith's era, I would admit that was quite a good use of it because the Doctor was a monk. But yeah, I definitely think that the Time Meddler is definitely not one worth watching if you're like me and you want more of an action-packed Doctor episode. I definitely think the chase is good to go, and then, but it is Stephen Taylor's first story, so I can have a look on it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you did, make sure you click that big red subscribe button down below and click the notifications bell so you get notifications every single time I upload. I'm going to go now because I've got to organise my parents' wedding anniversary, so yippee doo dah. I swear to God, guys, my work doesn't stop. So yeah, and then after that I'm going to go and watch the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who to continue celebrating 58 years of love of Doctor Who. Until then, have a wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey day.